Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Víctor González. As you presented me, I am a lecturer at the University of Murcia. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation to this seminar. It is an honor for me to be among the invited guests because are there some very prestigious people participating in this seminar. My work focus on research on how to incorporate educational technology in a appropriate way in education. And one of the line of work we are focused now is based on the incorporation of artificial intelligence in education in every level, but specifically in the university. In this seminar, I will try to show how AI is changing or should change our perspective on how to work methodology in the classroom, especially as far as assessment is concerned. But before we begin to analyze this change, it's necessary to specify what is meant by AI, or rather, what I mean, what I understand, because it is a complex thing to define, and not all people define equal. From a current perspective of what this technology can do, AI can be understood as technological tools that try to imitate human intelligence. For example, they are capable of performing tasks like calculation, memorization, reasoning, etc. But not only that, they're also capable of improving by automatically learning new information. Moreover, we are currently faced with the difficulty of understanding whether or not this technology really shows creativity. Can what it do be considered creativity? This is a complex dilemma that is leading to new approaches, such as copywriting the products that these tools are creating. But is the technology creativity, or is it the person behind the instruction that is creative? Or is it even a programmer of AI the person who is creative? Well, it is an interesting debate that could be the subject for another seminar. Now with the whole AI train that is sweeping over us, we can talk now about generative AI, that it will emerge in for the whole world in 2022. And I say for the whole world because computer scientists were already working on the creation of these tools, but they had not been disseminated to the general public. Specifically, I'm talking about everyone, ChatGPT. Although after this application, many others have emerged. It's ChatGPT that opened up our world, a new world, a fascinating world. But at the same time, this tool frightened us with the things it could do, or rather that it can do. And we're going to be even more scared with the version 5. In 2 months, more or less, will be open for everyone, and which is already being tested and whose capabilities are far superior to the current one. Thus, this technology has come into our lives, revolutioning everything. And education is not an exception, because normally education is outside the society and not advanced in the same time. But it could be interesting to know whether this technology is a revolution or a simple evolution. Education, although lagging behind the society, tries to incorporate new technology elements in order to innovate. However, on many occasions, this evolution remains at a very basic level and does not provide a real improvement. That's why I prefer to think that AI is going to be a revolution for the education. The option provided by these tools take us a step further. These are tools that do tasks much better than what the students did before this technology. So if we are students, and I was asked to write, if I were a student and I was, a teacher asked me to write an essay on a piece of content, why bother if there is a technology that does it faster and better than me? Why why I'm not going to use? That's as teachers, AI is a constant dilemma that lead us to rethink our educational practice. And that is the key of this seminar. And we cannot think that the students are not using AI for homework. I know you are concerned that normally students in all levels, more in university and secondary education, are using AI. Students are using without reflection and knowledge to use well. For example, we are currently carrying out a project to incorporate AI in our university classrooms, a project which I'm coordinating now. Before we started working with these tools, we give a student a questionnaire whether they use them and how they use them. Almost 500 students for our Faculty of Education respond to this questionnaire. And as you can see in the graph, the bars of the right indicate higher user. And in general, 60% of our students indicate that they use it for the university activities a lot, quite or somewhat. So more than a half, or more or less 60% of our students, and I think it's more, they're using AI for academic works. But they use the uses they indicated are varied, but mainly for generated content and for searching for information. Before ChatGPT, our students use Google for searching, but now they prefer AI to search some information. Does this mean that they use AI to copy? Well, in many cases, we can say yes, but this is nothing new. We can't think that this is new. It's the same dilemma as when Wikipedia first appeared. All teachers were complaining about a student using Wikipedia to copy. And we had a student copy what the Wikipedia said, and even the same problem that arose when digital encyclopedias started to appear at the beginning of the 2000s years. I remember when I'm a student with 14 years, and I will go into my encyclopedia and copy directly if I could when the activity involved learning about an author or a place or something like this. In other words, this is not a new problem, and yet we have made little progress with this. We don't change our mind about how to change our educational practice. The only things the only thing is that now we don't have a tool that tell us if the work is copied, because AI generated something completely new. There are some tools that try to know if the text is created by AI, but there isn't any tool capable to do efficiently that. So the question we have to ask ourselves is whether this problematic situation can be solved as a technical or educational way. We have to ask ourselves whether society should make an effort to develop technology that allows us to detect something elaborated by this technology, or the contrary, we have to educate for a proper use. From my point of view, I see it difficult to find a technical solution, and it could be very costly for create that. So the key is going to be at the educational level, and the solution is going to be mainly in the hands of the teachers of us. And to help teachers with this incorporation, to help teachers with the incorporation of AI in education, we need a broad research campus to find out the best ways to use this technology. Teachers are starting to use it. We are starting to use it. But what the research has found is that most teachers don't feel ready to incorporate into their teaching practice. They are probably ready to use it on an individual basis as a teacher, but not to incorporate it into their activities and how the students use it. That's as the European Union itself highlights in its reports. There's need to train teachers in digital competence. For our research group, the key is always train to develop digital competence in teachers and students. Moreover, current research focus more on development of a specific technology, but its incorporation is not being analyzed at the educational level. Now, in this year, we are starting to find some research about how to incorporate in some levels, but more in university than in secondary and primary education. But what are the benefits for learners if we use it, AI, in education? Because in order to use them, we also have to reflect on what they offer us and the challenge that this technology presents if we want to use in education. That's the possibilities includes diverse things like the personalization of learning by adapting knowledge to the level of the learner. We can adapt the objectives, the content, and also the assessment to personalize everything to the level of the learner. Also, we can give a rapid tutorials using chatbots configured to allow for one-to-one learning experience. If I want to say that it's a rapid answer to the student, they don't need to wait for the answer of the teacher. And also it provides them with knowledge about the use of this technology. It's a technology that reports indicate that 80% of jobs will require knowledge of AI. So we need to integrate AI in our classrooms because in the future they need for work, for jobs. Overall, AI has the potential to significantly improve the educational experience of students, providing personalized learning, support outside the classroom, quick answers to questions, at universal access to learning. Because we need to think about the possibility that they can use the technology everywhere. And as a teachers, what does it brings to us? Firstly, and most obviously, it can help us to plan the tasks. There are AI tools, such as, I don't know if you know this AI, Magic School. It's a AI that generate complete teaching guides that include objectives, competencies, activities, and assessment, and also include resources to use in these activities. So it's everything in AI. You only to write the topic and the AI generate for you everything. So our job as teachers is to check if this development teaching guide is switched to our students. But at the end, it really saves us time. We don't need to think everything because the technology can give us a general idea to start. Along the same lines before, AI help us to generate ideas for activities. It is very interesting to use the tool in this sense. I'm using a lot. We can give it the content that we are going to explain to our students and ask if to AI to generate activities of many different types. We can ask to the AI to generate activities to resolve a problem, to create something, everything. If you are like me, on many occasions we are not very imaginative, creative, and with the help of this technology, we can come up with very interesting activities. We also have the possibility to create interactive content, and this is very interesting and important because the research has shown us that interactive resources improve the learning of the content and help students to understand the concepts. In addition to the above I said before, we have many AI tools that allow us to generate imaging, video, or audio content quickly and in a way that fits what we want. It's no longer necessary to spend hours looking for a video or an image or a picture that fits what we want, but to ask the AI to create it. We need some videos to explain something, and we don't need to go to YouTube for Vimeo or another application. We can create our video specific to our content. Another of the most interesting option is related to management. AI allows us to automate management tasks that are normally tedious and take time away from more important tasks. Take time away from another task. Another of the most interesting option is for assessment, and this is what I want to get to. AI can help us in the assessment process. For example, we can ask to the AI to create a specific test questions with the content that we are using to explain something, or maybe to develop a rubric for the tool, for the activity that we are doing with our students, or create any other assessment tool. It can also help us in the correction, but be careful with that, because the AI in Europe with the new law, they don't allow to use AI to the correction of the activity for the students. I don't know in your country, but here now it's not allowed to use it that. But be careful, because assessment is also the key for the revolution of education that I said at the beginning of this presentation. If we keep asking a student to do the same kind of tasks, we will not make progress. We don't change everything, nothing. Students will just take the SI way out. So the biggest challenge we face today is the kind of task we set for students. Students have always searched for information and used all possible resources to complete academic tasks and to pass the assessment. But AI challenges traditional copy detection, as I said before, and raises new questions about how to assess students. It's difficult to detect whether an assessment has been done with ChatGPT or another generative AI tools. So we currently lack robust technology with the ability to accurately and effectively detect the information generated by these systems. It's no longer enough to ask the student to analyze, to compare, solve a problem, or reflect, because the AI will know how to do it as well, and just as well or even better than a student. For decades, computer science and educational technology have been trying to find an assessment system to facilitate automatic corrections, and that involves more than just objective test. Also, the research that we can find for AI in education is more that generate automatic tools to correct the assessment. We need to consider what value we, as a teacher, bring to the teaching learning process. It is essential to understand that the assessment is not simple grading, and that goes beyond collection assessments. There are no definitive formulas or solutions that can help us without first reconsidering the whole educational process and all the factors that condition it. But we can put forward some ideas and strategies to help us deal with the assessment in the world of generative AI. I give you these 3 points: the value the process more than the product, and after I explain each one, sorry, collaboration and interactive strategies, and also creative assessment strategies. First one, values the process more than the products. I refer that teachers need to become aware of importance of the learning process itself, beyond the end product they deliver. So they think they must think more in the process that the student use for create the product than the product itself. And one way to address the educational challenge for using AI tools is to promote the importance of that process by explaining the tool they have used and how. So, for example, I'm using in my classroom AI for some activities, and the students always have to give me the products, explain how they use, how they create the product, and which tools they use to create everything and how they use it. That process must be given value in the assessment we do, thus combining summative and formative assessment grades. We must think about how to incorporate formative assessment with summative assessment. Sorry. Also, another strategy is about collaboration and interactive strategies that these strategies can be promoted in classroom, designing activities that also incorporate AI tools. We don't have, we are not frightened about AI. We need to incorporate it also and teach a student how to use it correctly, the AI tools. Teachers will have to supervise the work process and pose questions that stimulate higher capacities such as critical thinking, problem solving, or reasoning. But in situation of interaction with the teaching staff, so we need to create activities that they need to do something like problem solving, and we need to supervise these activities and how they create everything. For example, asking for justifications, analysis processes and results, proposing alternative solutions, and continuously generating new questions related to the subject. The classroom must be turned into an interactive space for the construction of learning. We don't need to think that the classroom, the most important thing is the teacher, because they have access to internet and also AI. They can find everything there, and we need to develop some another abilities for the students. Also, we need to another strategy is to create a creative assessment. Can be used beyond the traditional writing exam, like practical skills-based competency tests, and this is very common now in Spain, to create activities that they need to develop something instead of explain something. And oral presentations, debates, role plays, classrooms, case studies, simulations with maybe virtual reality or another tool, quizzes, competitions. There are a lot of strategies, creative, that we can use to creative assessment. Imaginatively, we have to think of innovative strategies that are undoubtedly there are they need to change our mind as a teacher in the 21st century. Strategies that truly assess competencies and with which AI is our partner. Also is a partner for us and for the students. We need to introduce this technology for the future of the students. And we have to use it not only for us to create activities, that also to learn for the students to use it for create something new. For example, in some of our teachers create activity that they take the prompts that the students use to know if they are learning something. So the prompts also give us information about the process of the learners that they are using. Also, for the future, finally, for the future of the use of artificial intelligence in education, and in particular educational assessments, looks promising and full of possibilities. The technology that the companies are creating, they will be with a lot of possibilities for the education. The trend is toward incorporating this technology for general personalization, that I said before, for personalization the process, but also the assessment, because we can give a specific content for the students, also a specific assessment, and also for generated automatic assessment tool that give us more time to do another things. Because if we can create an automatic tool that give to the student the answer, we can use this time to explain how to create and to supervise how they are doing the tasks. But we also need to stop and reflect on its use, and it is very important because it's new. Normally, when new technology appears, the teachers start to use without reflection on how the technology can improve the the education. So we have to stop and think about the incorporation of this technology. Don't use because it's a new, it's a trend, and all people is talking about AI. So we should consider this technology because they give us something more that we have now. So, and also we need to think about the ethical challenge. There are many. If you know, there's some problems with the use of this technology, because we don't know if there are the students we are copying, they create images and other things, and we consider the ethical challenge. So in summary, the future of the use of AI in educational assessment looks promising, but it also poses challenge that will need to be addressed with proper training and consideration of ethical and equity issues. AI has the potential transformation educational assessment for the better. So in my point of view, if I don't know your profession, I think everyone here is a teacher. For me, it's important to introduce AI in education because with reflection and use correctly. Don't be afraid to use it with the students. Don't be afraid if the student use it for the tasks, because we need to change our tasks. We need to change the activities that we ask for. We have to think about the educational process more than the product, the final product that the student give us. And this is the key point for me. For finish, thank you very much to all of you to listen to me, and I would like to thank again for the responsibility and also the Daria that invite me to participate in this seminar. Now, if you have any question or everything that you want to say, don't hesitate. Say whatever you want, because in this time is time also for learn for me.
Спасибо, профессор.
Thank you, Professor González, for your presentation.
Thank you to you.
As you know, we have been working on these issues for 3 days in a row, and we were presenters from various continents of the globe. And I think that our participants can say that all the challenges and opportunities are somewhere nearby. And this means that we can clearly see both challenges and opportunities. Thank you very much for supporting this vision. We have a number of questions to you from our participants. First, to what extent Spanish tutors and professors use generative AI?
Can you repeat, please?
What is the percentage of your teachers and professors at your university in Spain use generative AI?
Okay. We don't have a percentage, but they're more or less 75%, and they are doing some training to use it. But not to use it, they are not using AI for their classroom. It's more for research, to do some tasks more than using in the classroom.
Да, спасибо.
Thank you. You are a... So say that. Do you think it is necessary to teach students on how to work with generative AI?
Of course, they don't use it. They use like Google. They write something in the ChatGPT and the ChatGPT give them the answer, but they don't use well. They don't know. In our questionnaire about how they use AI, we ask about if they know about the prompts and other things. They don't know how it is a prompt. So I normally train students in our first task how to use it, how they can create a good prompt. And for example, in our university, when they are going to finish the degree, they have to do like a PhD, a little PhD, dissertation. And when I am supervisor of them, I train them how to use it in this process also, how to use to search information, how to use to create objectives, and also to analyze information, because for that it's incredible, the AI.
Спасибо.
Thank you. There's a practical question. Could you please refer to an assignment, a task that was changed to adopt generative AI? So maybe you could give us an example of a task, of an assignment, how it looked like before generative AI appeared, and how it looks today when we have generative AI?
It's a very good question, or practical question. For example, I can give you some example of the tasks that we are using in my classroom. We are trying to develop the digital competency of our students. So for them, the first task that we ask for is they have to search information in 3 different generative AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity, and they have to focus on the references that this technology use. They have to know if the references are correct or not, if the technology are inventing something, and they all need to create something with that. The next activity that they need to they have to do with the information that they find in the first task, they have to create some educational resources to implement that they can implement in a educational classroom. So they can create a video, a picture, or whatever they want. And for me, I ask them how they are creating. They explain how the group of work are working, and also they do a presentation for all their partners in the classroom to show how they create everything and how can they use it. So it's more the important is not the product that they create. It's more that they need to explain me how they create the product.
Да, спасибо большое.
Yes, thank you. There's another question. In fact, our platform is a dialogue platform for international professionals. And we hope, and we are very happy to see when universities from different countries continue talking to one another from various countries, and then this brings fruit. There's another question. Professor, we are PhD students of the first grade on computer science in Kazakhstan. Is it possible to have an academic exchange with your university and to go to your university and to work with you for 1 semester?
Of course, it could be a pleasure for us to have the exchange student with your university. We need to talk with the rector of our university, but I think it's not a problem to have this exchange students.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much.